As they play this final game of the series, as we do our podcast, the Dodgers have beaten the Padres 20 out of the last 24 games.
Oh, man.
They've done it with great pitching. They've done it with timely hitting. They've done it with guys that have come up with an odd big game and gotten them the victory. Interesting stat. This guy in the dugout, Dave Roberts, the guy the Padres did not want to interview after A.J. Preller fired Bud Black.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has a career winning percentage of 633. Dave Roberts is above Smokey Alston, Tom Lasorda, Charlie Dressen, who were the other great managers in the old Brooklyn Dodger, Los Angeles Dodger era.
Mm-hmm.
He has a higher winning percentage than all those guys. Now, granted, Smokey Alston managed for 24 years. Tommy was more than a decade. But his record is 649 and 377. Dave Roberts, Dodger Stadium. Dave Roberts, the guy the Padres general manager did not want to interview.
Right.
Now, granted, he's worked for an organization that's not afraid to spend money and pay luxury tax, etc. Dave Roberts, pretty doggone good baseball man to keep this together. And this run that they've had, all these division titles, and the fact that they, as good as anybody, could be going back to the World Series again for a third time.
But a lot of times, well, let's set the 2020 season aside, the short season. The Dodgers have gone into the playoffs as the number one seed, or at least the number two, and they've had their struggles in the postseason. Clayton Kershaw hasn't pitched well, and there was a lot of heat on Dave Roberts for some of the moves that he made managing that pitching staff.
Dodgers right now have a bit of an issue, and I know they have 107 wins already, and they still have a bunch of games in the next week with the Rockies. I mean, they could finish with 112 wins, which is amazing. But the Dodgers have issues. You talked about Urias, who is now 31-10 over the last year and a half.
Yeah, he's legit.
Kershaw has a 2.42 ERA since coming off the disabled list a second time. Clayton Kershaw's pitched really well. But understand this. Dustin May is back on the disabled list with a minor back problem. They don't think he's going to be utilized as a starter. Tony Gonsolin, who was 16-1, has been dry docked because of a forearm issue for the better part of 3 to 4 weeks. Now, he's going to make a start next week. They don't know whether he's going to be in the rotation or whether they're going to have to baby him and make him as possibly a long reliever. Tyler Anderson has just been mystical. The left-handed pitcher has bounced all over the place, is having a career season. He might become their third starter. And there is no Walker Buehler. Dave Price has got chronic problems with his left wrist. He's still on the disabled list. Blake Treinen came back, pitched twice, went back on the DL with shoulder woes. So their bullpen is a little bit iffy right now. Dave Roberts has indicated because of the ongoing problems with Craig Kimbrell, whom he can't trust, it's going to be bullpen by committee in the playoffs. They may have to use Kimbrell, but Kimbrell has already got 6 losses and 6 blown saves and an ERA over 4, and he's no longer what he used to be. Is he that trustworthy? So the Dodgers, despite this phenomenal record, Dodgers got some pitching staff problems here as we go to postseason play. What works for them, they get a bye because they have the best record in the National League and may wind up with the best record in baseball. There is no wild card week for them. So in that span of 4 to 5 days, maybe that makes a huge difference in terms of Gonsolin's status or Dustin May's status going forward. So, we've got another week to go in the baseball season. Dodgers are going to have some time to look at their blueprint and try to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see how they're going to line up because last night when they were playing the game, we're in the late innings and they roll these guys out of the bullpen. I've never even heard of them. And boy, they're lights out. They're getting our guys out. So they've got there's something different about this team. They were talking about it this morning on the radio where the Dodgers, the discipline of the hitters, the way they grind out at bats, the way they make, starters like Musgrove and Snell work. They've got a lot of different ways that they can win games, even if their relief pitching might be a little bit suspect.
Things we know, Mookie Betts is a great player, unbelievable leadoff hitter. Things we know, Freddie Freeman is an MVP. Things we know, Trey Turner is hitting over 300 at shortstop. Another guy that A.J. Preller did not want to keep, and he traded him away to the Washington Nationals a year ago. Those are all givens. And then everything around those givens are the catcher, Will Smith, might be the best power hitting catcher in baseball. The old dog at third base, Justin Turner, might not be hitting for average, but is still dangerous. Obviously, what they've got in other positions that can hurt you. Cody Bellinger's become an enigma. Yeah, dude's hitting 213, but he can yank one out. They're kind of in love with Joey Gallo from Texas, who either hits a home run or strikes out an awful lot, but he's still dangerous out there. And over the course of this last second half of the season, John, what we've seen is somebody steps up and wins a game for them. And it just doesn't have to be Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman or Trey Turner. They got so many other guys that can hurt you in a given at bat. And obviously, historically, the best pitching ERA in all of Major League Baseball. So Dodgers are going to be the team to beat and may have home field advantage through everything, including the World Series, which makes them even tougher at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the playoffs. It's like you were saying, we're in with a great time of the year for if you're a sports fan, because the NFL, college football. I mean, October is really one of the best sports months of the year.